Welcome, Pisces, to your in-depth weekly astrology overview and zodiac forecast for week commencing the 15th of June for the ascendant, the sun, or the moon. Going to share the big themes of the weekend, first of all, which includes the solstice. But on screen is your event chart on Monday. I'll unpack that. I'll then go through each of the influences in detail. At the end of the video, you'll have a clear picture of what's upcoming in terms of your energy, work, relationships, or finances. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. But please also click or tap the bell notification symbol. So as we go into this week, we have a new moon. A new moon gives us an opportunity to blend the energy of the sun, very much about vitality, and that of the moon, very much about emotion. But for you, they are in the fourth house, which has an echo of the energy of Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. But in the quick-witted sign of Gemini, it could get you thinking about maybe who you're living with or how, or even potentially renovating, or perhaps moving the furniture around, or perhaps even decluttering, because with Uranus in the sign of Gemini on a new moon for the first time in 77 years, that really could make you think about the need for physical space, or it could make you quite restless. But what we also have at the start of this week is Venus. The planet of relating is now in a practical part of your chart, the sixth house, which suggests that small but important gestures can work wonders around all sorts of relationships, whether it's with colleagues or more romantically. But that does link back to Uranus at the start of this week. If you're a creative, and it's a rare Pisces that isn't, something that you're good at could be something that you can start working on more, I feel, from the comfort of your home, and actually really bringing that to life in a way which could boost your income, but also give you a greater identity, and something that really brings some zest to the core of your life. But if you recall last week, Mercury and Saturn were in a tense standoff, and that is still there this week. As you go into the week, Mercury's in quite a playful area. It's now separating from the square with Saturn. Maybe your view of what money should be spent on and the view of someone else's hasn't quite aligned, and that may still be something that causes a bit of tension. The great news, however, is that Jupiter, your traditional ruler, is in a lovely sextile to the new moon. So a little bit of humour and warmth and generosity of spirit can do wonders. As this week goes on, you know that Mars is moving forwards and is starting to angle into a sextile with Jupiter, which peaks on the 28th. Don't be surprised, despite this homely energy, even if it does include the rather unpredictable Uranus, that something quite dazzling around your social life shapes up towards the end of this month. The other thing to tell you about is the fact that Uranus does T-square the nodes, and this will go on through to the 26th of July. And I think that it's important to understand that Uranus in Gemini is going to give the whole way we communicate, connect, technology, all of these things are going to be racing at such a pace. If your home or emotion life is dominated by technology or being on devices a lot, as it is for many of us, you may find that that actually could start to have an effect on how you feel emotionally, but also on the practical side of your welfare too, maybe even around relationships. So just be aware there could be some tension if your home is your place of work, or you are a little bit too inclined to be using technology. So, for example, if you're an avid gamer, it's the only example I can really think of. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's lovely if that's your interest. But if it's dominating a bit too much, a partner may feel a bit pushed out. Now, Uranus is actually forging a fabulous link to Pluto, as it has been since it arrived in Gemini. And I still contend that things you learn in your past or experiences and knowledge you've had can come back to you in a very productive way in the here and now. But that brings us to Venus is not just in that sixth house, it's not just forging that link to Uranus, it forges a beautiful link to your modern aquatic ruler of Neptune. If there is something that you're arty about, your ability to visualize or bring it to life, but in some kind of practical way, but also giving it some star quality, that could be something that really shines brightly this week as well. But we know Venus can be about relationships, and it is in an opposition with Pluto as this week goes on. If there is an imbalance between who does and contributes what at home, particularly around the domestic chores, or one partner tends to be secretive or moody or a bit up and down, that could become an issue by Friday. But also on Friday, Chiron moves into the third house. Now, Chiron in Taurus is basically about our sense of worth. And we can have worth in different ways. For some people, it is about the amount of money they have. Other people, it's because they look very fashionable or have these amazing gleaming white teeth. For others, it may be to do with talents. Everybody gets their worth in some kind of way. But if your worth around your mind or your thinking is not as strong as it might be because you're quite hard on yourself, it might be because you didn't have the training or the opportunity or the coaching or the encouragement to be someone who got used to learning things when you were younger. Do you know the next 3 months would be a great chance to apply for that course or teach skills that you have? Because Chiron can be about superpower. You have got superpowers I believe you can share. And then on Sunday, we have that glorious solstice, glorious for you in particular, because the sun moves into the fifth house, which, although it's Cancer, nurturing, healing, protective, actually for you, the fifth house is more resonant of the Leo energy. So it's where the sun really can be proud, but you can still be in touch with your more instinctive energies. And the following month and 13 weeks, because we start cardinal quadrant 2, the second 13-week segment of the year, and see you very much more active and outgoing. But don't be surprised if your home this week is the hub of things in some kind of way, a gathering, the need for space. You may take in a lodger, you may kick one out. It's going to be active around your home, I feel. But there's a lot of good stuff developing for you, Pisces. But I'm going to summarize those 4 areas of energy, work, relationships, and finances next. If you've yet to watch your Gemini new moon video, that's on the screen. If you've yet to watch your Chiron 50-year return video on the screen, I've slashed the price of my personal horoscope reports. For many years, it was buy two, get 30% off. Because of the cost of living increases, I'm trying to make the charts as accessible as possible. So it's now buy one, get three. And the one you pay for, your life roadmap report, very important, helps us to understand ourselves better, make better decisions future forwards. 12 months transit forecast, when to time our moves. Draconic chart helps us to understand the more karmic energy we brought into this world. Please see below for more. If you'd like to work with me one-to-one, pleasure. Please see my testimonials below. Yet to sign up for your free daily written horoscope, find your device each morning. Please see below too. So to summarize, energy. So when we think of energy, we can think of the sixth house, and that's where you have Venus. And Venus in Leo can be rather indulgent. But if you have been thinking about, for example, joining the gym, getting that membership going, perhaps buying an exercise bike, a rowing machine, any kind of gizmo that would help you to get a bit fitter at home, Venus could tempt you into that for sure. But I think your nervous energy around your emotions can be quite strong this week. And if you do feel that something that's going on, someone's unpredictability, it may be a family member, it could be a close friend, if they're being a bit abrasive or unavailable or very unpredictable, keep changing plans, that would drain you more than anything at all. However, what you do have is Mars, the planet which is very much to do with our bodies and action, in a great link as the week goes on with Jupiter in a very playful and outgoing part of your chart. So if you want to go out later in the week and meet up with a friend and do some dancing or any other kind of physical pursuit, swimming, whatever, that would be a good way to work on your energy and well-being. As far as your professional situation is concerned, the fourth house energy means for me, if you work for someone that gives you the space to occasionally work from home at the least, or you can work in a completely remote way and nobody cares at all, you get the job done, it's all good. But one of the things that definitely comes up in this week's energies is don't underestimate your talents and how they could be converted into something that could in time become something more substantive. As far as romance is concerned, yes, Venus in Leo is very proud and can be very gregarious, but for you, it's very practical. Thoughtful gestures matter. It may be that the clash between Uranus and the north and south nodes, if something is out of kilter in a romantic relationship, you might need a bit more space to yourself. Financially, with Saturn in the second house, that does need care, particularly at the start of the week, because in the square with Mercury, which is separating, it's saying to be cautious about spontaneous expenditure. It's been a real pleasure being with you, Pisces. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great week. All the best, and look forward to seeing you again soon.